first setting up this studio, what were some of the basic things you really had to have? What did you say? Okay, I have to invest in X, Y, and Z, and then later on I'll get this.
Well, it's kind of a two-part story, because when we first built the original studio, I didn't know about gear. I didn't have any clue what was good and what wasn't. Like I mentioned earlier that I started out with a Mackie Digital 8-bus, which was like the premier board of the time for what you were getting for your dollar. It was like $10,000 at the time. I was the first guy in South Florida to own one. I begged, borrowed, and stole to try and get up enough cash, and then took out a loan. And so we got that, a couple decent mic pre's, a couple decent mics, just to get the ball rolling. And that was the first studio setup, but that was all by recommendation of the guy who I built this place with, who got hired away and went to work for another big studio around town. So that was the first studio. Then I had my vision of what I wanted, because we were working with Digital Performer at the time, the Mackie board, and I had to learn the ins and outs of what was going on with all that. So once I learned how to do what I was doing on that, I had a vision of what I wanted my setup to be. See, this is basically someone else's idea of a setup, not mine. And I just had to learn to use what he created for me here in the studio. My dream setup was, of course, going to be Pro Tools, because everybody I know was using it. So I was like, there must be something to this. And then having my ears growing as far as what sounded good to me and what didn't. Specific things with mic pre's and coloration and mics that did this and that and was good for this application and not the other. Got a list of mics that's endless. It was very specific for me for what I wanted, and now here's my basically dream setup. From me, there's always something else you want. There's always another piece of gear. There's always another box that's doing something cool. Which, by the way, don't get wrapped up in that like I do, because it gets real expensive. If you got some decent stuff, use it and be happy.
So what basically do you have now? Maybe go through, I don't know, you have a lot of stuff that you had the list. What did you have to have first? You have the Pro Tools, and what kind of other stuff do you have in here?
Well, when I built the new rig in here with the Pro Tools setup and custom designed my desk here to make sure the Control 24 sat there, which is really just an expensive mouse. It really is, everybody, I swear. Yeah. It's got 16 Focusrite mic pre's, which are my last choice in the signal chain if I'm running out of my good mic pre's. They sound cool. They're cool. I mean, just the price of the board is actually worth the 16 mic pre's is worth the price of the board. But basically, it's my mouse, but it mouses around Pro Tools, which is great. I like faders. I hate to use a mouse to bring faders up and down. More than anything, I have the Control 24 for that. Faders up and down. I want to set levels, pans, things like that. I like to do that old school. I like to do it by hand.